Hello and welcome back to Day After Day Gaming. I'm Kat and it's Kat's Corner. Though it's also Turtle Tuesday, but they mean the same thing today. So I am having another painting stream, just like last week's Turtle Tuesday, which ended up being on Thursday, and it was also a painting stream where I painted these lovely 5 characters and started Bebop. So today I thought, well, my dad thought, that since I wasn't even planning to be here today, so we would be getting a normal Turtle Tuesday anyways, he thought, while he's spending time with my sibling, I should do another stream of painting. And you know what? That makes me very excited because I do love to paint. So as you can see during my last stream, if you haven't seen it yet, I hope you do watch it because it was pretty fun for me. I painted Slash, Rocksteady, Old Hop, Splinter, and April O'Neil. Even gave them little tiny details. Which I gotta say, out of all of these characters, all their details sucked. Except for, probably Rocksteady out of all of them. He did have a lot of different colors and lots of detail, but it was all either black or gray. It was literally mixing a bunch of grays together. There was a little pop of color for the brown, his horns, his toes, and part of his goggles, but besides that, he was probably the easiest out of these 5 to paint. Either that or Old Hob. Old Hob altogether probably only has, like, 4 colors. That's because I even added... And technically, if you could do it with only 3. So, out of all of them, the toughest one to paint was... I'm gonna have to say April. Her suit is 2 different colors.
It says you're live with Fallout New Vegas.
Dear Lord, again?
Did you fix it?
No. I thought I already did.
Maybe you just sent me the alert before I got the new one.
That sounds fun.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay. Thought something seemed strange. Well, and today I'm going to be painting some new characters after I was so rudely interrupted. I'm looking at you. And today I'm going to be finishing up Bebop, our Chainsaw Maniac Hog. Ah! What the fudge? That's not ice! Why is there ice at me?
Have fun!
Screw you. Fathers, right? He throws ice at me in the middle of a stream. Now my hands are wet and cold. As I was saying, I'm going to continue Bebop and paint and start 4 different characters. Or at least, well, I'm going to start all of them, at least get base coatings done, and then I may or may not have to have another stream just to finish them. But considering I got to these 5, it only took me 3 hours. But that's because these guys are overly detailed. Especially April. And Slash. So, we're going to paint. We're just going to get all my new people that I got painted recently back here in the back because they don't need to be seen right now. Because they're not the spotlight today. Today's spotlight would be, I'm going to start with Bebop because he's already got a base coat. So I'm going to start with him first. But the other characters, since it's probably really hard to see what these are, I'm going to be painting 3 heroes. Well, actually, I should say, I'm painting 2 heroes, an ex-villain, and a villain. So, starting from left to right, we have... This is Karai, the first person here. The second one I have is Angel Bridge. So I originally was planning to... I painted all the other 4 main heroes in City Fall, and I realized, well, I might as well paint Angel so that her entire game of heroes is all painted, so that's going to be fun. Especially since, again, she doesn't have a lot of color. So that makes some of these characters easy to paint. Our next one is very unique, because this was one of the special add-ons we got. Miyamoto Usagi, or Usagi Yojimbo. He is a cartoon rabbit samurai character. I think this was remember correctly, he's a character based off of one of the writers of Turtles or something like that. I'm not fully sure. My dad has the story, not me. But he goes by Miyamoto Usagi on his card, but my dad knew him as Usagi Yojimbo. Which is funny because that's actually what his ability is named. It's called Yojimbo. Miyamoto Usagi with the power Yojimbo. Very interesting. So he's our rabbit character right here. He even's got rabbit ears and the samurai sword, and like a samurai kimono outfit. Then our last character, she would be our ex-villain, is Alopex. So if anybody can remember that far back, Alopex is a character, is a villain in the Changes Constant game. But this one, she has a hero version of her from the Stretch Goals, which I find pretty exciting considering Old Hob is a hero in the Cityfall game, but is also villain in Changes Constant. So, 2 of the starting villains from Changes Constant have been turned to heroes. Though I must say, Alopex looks vastly different from how she originally looks. Considering the original one is like white and red with masks. This one's white and blue with a black cloak on. So, gonna be interesting painting her. So that are going to be my characters. So like I said, I'm gonna start with Bebop. And Bebop, oh lord, Bebop has quite a few different colors. And I must say, the only sad thing about these cards is that it does not show most of the lower half of their body normally. So I would have to go searching in a book to find exactly what their shoes look like most of the time, or the bottom part of their pants, but I'm not gonna bother, because it just annoys me to go looking for a picture somewhere in our comic book strip of how he looks. So I'm probably just gonna guess what I think his shoes look like. I can tell from here that the top of them is red, and it looks to be some yellow. But besides that, I'm not gonna worry about it, because it's going to annoy me to no end. So, since his pants are like a grayish color, we're gonna leave those for now, because gray is an easy color to put over top of mess-ups. And considering I've got to paint him entirely a tannish brown, I think I am fine with a couple of mess-ups here and there. If only I could find the right brown. That's too dark. Let's say this looks about right. But I never know until I put it on them. Or shall I open the thing? So it just needs to be mixed a little bit more. This is probably the closest color I have to him, considering... Oh. Sorry. My dad, when he was putting away all my paints, put them back in all the wrong spots, so I don't know where... all my paint is now all mixed up and just starting to annoy me, because I don't know which paint goes where. This all organized, all categorized. Now it is not, and is annoying me. Okay, where's my base paintbrush? It's been stained yellow. No, it's been stained gold. Probably from April. So let's get started by getting my brushes nice and wet, because they're a little bit hard from the last time I painted. Must not have gotten all the paint last time I did this. So, the thing about Bebop is that most of his upper body is covered in fur. So I'm hoping this is close to the color I want, but it's going to be very hard to say until I get him mostly painted. Because it's going to be very hard to tell if I like this color on him or not until I've painted most of him and gotten his accessories done. Probably if I don't like how he turned out, I might fix him slightly. But I'm probably not going to. Whatever he gets painted is what he gets painted. get his little hand painted that holding a chainsaw. Other thing is, I can't see most of the specs of his chainsaw. I can only see the brown handle and the yellow bottom. So beyond that, we're just kind of guess, but most beyond that is the blade, so it's probably going to be a metallic blade, considering it's a chainsaw. And it's metal. Aha, little tiny areas to paint, and trying not to get too much paint in them or it blocks all the detail. The very lovely, very, very lovely detail that I want to cover in shade later. Though I do like how he kept most of his 5 fingers. He has 4 fingers now. Which I always did find entertaining. How mutation can entirely change your body, even if it only touches a small portion of you. Like, some people got entirely soaked in mutagen. And you got the other people that just got, like, their face splashed slightly and they entirely change. That happened a few times, I think, in the, one of the second, actually in some of the old series too, where they just get slightly splashed. Just lightly. Just a little bit and they entirely change. Even their fingers. Like, again, Bebop only has 4 fingers. You would think he'd have slightly more, considering he was a human man before this all happened to him. So far, I think he's looking pretty well, though. His fur, it may be slightly too tan for him, considering his arms are actually starting to look more like a human being's. But it's actually not my skin tone color. I've actually got something called flesh tone. I have a paler version of it too. This is more a little bit dustier than the normal flesh color. But anyways, I'm probably going to end up putting a brown shade on him to fade his muscles just a bit more. Now here's the fun part. Trying to paint his stomach without touching most of his pants or the chainsaw. It is perfectly fine to paint over the necklace. Now time to paint his head, which has purple highlights. Because he's got purple hair. Seems really happy to the point he's grinning. Very widely. Well, that is all the skin that he's technically showing. So I think that's all I need to get done for his torso. So I'm going to wait for his torso to dry before I try to start doing the jacket and such, since I'm probably just going to add a slight bit of detail to his pants. Because, like, things attached to his pants probably need to be a different color, but I'm probably just going to leave his pants black. Though they are supposed to be like very dark gray, it's just going to stay black. Just going to let him sit here and dry for a little bit. And then I'm going to get Alopex done. Now the thing about Alopex is I don't want to base paint her black because she's pure white and blue. But based on that, I think I need to do her base layering blue. Though I've only got this really, really deep blue, and I kind of don't like what this color might do to white. Because I don't know if it's going to give me a pale enough color, considering my white is really trashy. So I'm actually going to use oh, never mind. Hold on. I forgot about this. I do have a lighter base blue. It's much brighter than the dark one my kit came with, so might as well put Sandy Dust, my base green, back in the spot. And yeah, I think I'm going to base paint her this lovely, lovely Collidor Sky Blue. Now, this blue's never been mixed before, so I probably should mix it beforehand. Oh yes, look at this very pretty blue. Wow, it looks really bad on your screen, I've got to say. I'm sorry. Why do the colors look so different when I show them to you? What does he look like? Oh lord, he looks almost green. Green with envy. Same thing happened to April when I tried painting her. But now, let's get Alopex entirely base painted blue. Then we'll add the black. Well, actually, I'm going to do the white after I get all the blue done. Because I think all the nooks and crannies should be entirely blue for Alopex. Just going to smother your smother your face in blue, and then get all of it out of your face in a second. Wow, she looks very strange with only blue on. Well, that's actually starting to look very weird. That's fine. She's a mutated mutanimal. Actually, no, she's unaffiliated. She's not a mutanimal. But still, she's just darling entirely blue. She's obviously not a Kree soldier that's been mutated to look like something else. Or a blue alien that's an animal creature. Obviously not. She's just a lovely blue fox lady, I think. I'm going to assume she's a fox lady, because that's what species she looks like. Well, she's definitely blue. I feel really bad trying to put paint in between your legs. A little bit more, and then your base coating is done. Yes, she's been entirely base painted blue. Because then I have to paint you entirely white. With a black hoodie on. Because isn't that fun? I might as well just base paint most of these while the previous ones are drying. So my next one to paint would be Usagi Yojimbo. And considering you've got black pants, a blue coat, and you're mainly white besides that, we're just going to paint in black. Because then I don't have to repaint your pants later. Just have to repaint your face, and your coat, and your sword, and your shoes. Because I've got to say, I'm not going to leave his little white, well, there should be white paws to stay black. Especially since your sandals, since you are wearing a pair of sandals, your sandals should not be black, considering they're supposed to be brown, like in a traditional outfit from that time period. You'd be wearing crap, I can't think of what they're called. But you'd be wearing weaved sandals of some sort. Well, at least the black covers up pretty nicely. Get in those ears. Well, he's got some pretty nice swords. What if he's a dual wielder? The only funny thing I've got to say about him is that his picture only depicts one sword, though he's technically holding one sword, and he has another one in a, he has one katana in his hand, and he has one katana in its sheath. But again, his picture only depicts one sheath and one sword. Guess you can't be too picky. The wait, I already said I was. But anyways, drawing a character. Anyways, the drawn picture of them never look like the way they're actually standing. Well, normally. So it's fine. But so far, he's looking pretty good. I do quite a bit like how Usagi's turning out. Well, at least for black painting, he turned out pretty well. Wouldn't somebody agree? You can barely see him against the black background. We're gonna let him dry now. And I would continue to another character, but Bebop has finished drawing. So I'm gonna go back to him because I was hoping to finish him during my last stream, but that didn't work. So since I'm planning to leave his pants black and just add a bit of detail past that, I'm going to get his coat done, which is a bright red, along with most of his shoes. He also wears gold jewelry and has bright purple hair. So I have to say the only good thing about this is that I had to buy a purple for a different project I did a while back. Though it might not be the right purple is my only concern. Considering his hair is like a very pinkish purple, I have 3 different types of purple, though none of them are on the pink side, but I do have a pink. So I might just mix a hair color for him, because I kind of want him to look semi-precise. But first we're gonna paint his coat. It's nice bright red. Wow, this red is nice and pretty. Though I do like most types of red because they are nice and pretty. Yeah, he's already starting to look like a proper Bebop. Though I'm used to the one where he wears mostly purple. And is dancing everywhere for some reason. Which I have to say is a Bebop that I'm not the biggest fan of. Though I'm fine with him being a dancer as a human, I just don't like it as when he's dancing around as a hog. It doesn't look quite so right. Though it depends on which version of Bebop you're talking about. There is like a couple versions of Bebop that pull off dancing rather well, actually. Bebop would probably yell at me if he ever heard me say that. Be like, any version of me dances perfectly well. But that's Bebop for you. Now I just realized it might be easier if I were using a detail brush instead of a base brush to do this. Considering I'm having a very hard time trying to get the color pieces into his outfit. Because it's such a small area. Yeah, the detail brush is doing so much better. Wow, it really is actually. Just a little bit more, considering your collar piece got messed up. This color all the way around should be red. Considering I painted it somewhat skin tone like. And now for his shoes. So his shoes are, whoops. His shoes are probably mostly red. And I do know his knee pads are red. That is like one of the last details I can see on his picture. So, we're going to make his knee pads a nice bright red because I can. And then we're just going to paint his shoes entirely red. Because again, I can. Then we'll add the yellow detail that is probably on the shoes later. Well, there we go. He's starting to look better. Not so colorless now. I think I have a little bit too much paint on this shoe. Because I don't want him to be overly bright. At the same time, I don't want him to be overly dingy. But there we go. Here's my starter for Bebop. Now, since his coat, I'm pretty sure, is already dried, and it's only his shoes, I'm not gonna bother the lower half of his body quite yet. I think I'm going to work on his chainsaw. So his chainsaw, like I said, is actually mostly yellow. So we're gonna get something that's not overly bright yellow, but still noticeable as a yellow. We're gonna get all mixed up, ready for the main body of the chainsaw. Though my yellow doesn't want to mix correctly, that's fine. Just has to deal with me. My brushes apparently don't want to clean today. Okay, there we go. Now a nice yellow color for the main part of the body. Do we have to paint the handle yellow? It's fine. Because the handle isn't even this color. It's much darker gray color. But overall, pretty much anything can go over yellow. Because yellow is such a bright color. There we go. So that's the main part. And while the yellow, while that part of yellow dries, I'm going to get a few other yellow details done. So around Bebop's neck, he has a golden necklace of sorts, with a skull in the middle of it. I'm going to very gently bit of paint to that skull to bring out the yellow in it. and get the little band that's hooked to it. That should do. And Bebop's sunglasses are actually another type of bright yellow. Just need a little bit finer tip so that I can get the brim of the glasses done. And I think the shoes have dried while I was getting that detail done. So I'm also going to add the yellow that's on the shoes. Because I think there's probably some yellow detail in here, but they're way too red. So I'm going to make the laces bright yellow. Because I think it makes it much more interesting. But it's pretty hard to paint just the laces yellow. There we go with that. So I think I've gotten all the yellow detail done for Bebop. Now, I believe it's time for... Well, the tip of Bebop's nose is more of a flesh tone color than the rest of his fur is. Though apparently my flesh tone doesn't want to like me. We just need a little bit of that. So I can put it on the very, very tip of Bebop's nose. I think put a little bit too much, so we're going to try to brush some of it off so it's not as noticeable. There we go. And I think I'm going to make the color that Bebop's hair should be. So, I've got 3 different choices of purple, though I think I'm going to choose one of the lighter versions. The other thing I have is a very bright pink, and 3 different types of purples, but the last one's way too dark. So I've got a light-ish purple, and I've got a darkish purple. The thing is, I need like a dark pinkish purple, so I think I'm going to have to go with the dark one. And I'm going to mix these colors together after I mix with the pink. Oh, these probably need mixed. Let's see what I can do with mixing these 2 colors together. The pink came out nicely. Let's see how the purple did. Oh, apparently I've never opened this purple before. Well, the purple made a goopy mess. Though it is a really pretty shade, I must say. Just gonna get a bit of this purple right there. Wash my brush. And then grab some pink. And try to mix the 2. I think I may add it a bit more pink than need be. Yeah, because it's not as dark as I wanted it to be. So I think I can add just a tad bit more of purple. To try and darken it. Yeah, this isn't one of those colors you can easily make is the only problem. This is one of those colors that really has to be made just a certain way. Because the thing is, this is like a bright, hot pinkish purple. And I don't think there's any way I'm going to get that color. So Bebop's going to have to settle with whatever I just made. So we're going to put the paint away before I do anything. Because I don't want to knock either one of these over into my palette area. And Bebop has his hair on top of his head. And his sideburns painted this color. Now, since I have a little bit too much paint on my brush, it's actually washing out the detail. So I'm going to clean my brush as best as possible and try to brush some of the excess paint off, because I don't want it gunking up the detail. That's probably the closest to the purple I want as I can get. Now we're going to get ready for any minor details we have on here. But first, I'm going to grab my metallic color so I can put it on the chainsaw. There we go. Now I'm going to grab a whitish color for some extra detail on him. I still have to get part of his mouth done since I haven't finished that yet. And because in this case, Bebop has his mouth wide open, so I have to paint his teeth and his tongue. But he also has tusks that I need to paint as well. But I'm going to get some of the white detail done. So on Bebop, he has like very minor accessories, but I do like painting minor accessories for some odd reason. If my white would cooperate. There's the reason that I use a chopstick. It's because my white is very dumb. The reason why this chopstick is stained white. But my white, for some reason, will not come out like paint, and it is overly thick 97% of the time. It will not mix just by shaking the bottle. So. Now I've got some white on my stick and a slightly properly mixed white. So I'm going to get my detail brush out. just a slight bit of white and add the detail I want. And the major details on Bebop is that he actually has little white things on his coat, which are actually very, very hard to see, but I want to put them there. I mean, they're like very minor details overall, but I'm very oddly picky, so yeah, like those details. Another detail of Bebop is the cufflinks on his shoulder, on his arms. Little white dots, because those are things sticking out. So I'm going to put a little bit of detail there to make those pop out a bit more. Well, it's actually turning out pretty nicely. If my hand would stay steady. My hand doesn't want to stay steady. Next time I really should just use some dry paint and brush it over lightly. That would make much more sense. But that's all for small white details, so. Oh wait, I did actually miss one detail. So, Bebop actually has a nose ring on the tip of his snout. And it's tiny, and I do mean tiny. If I can get enough paint. Well, he's got it. It's very bright white on him, but okay, now I think Bebop is almost done. And the only other thing that's majorly missing from him is two details. One, I have not put the gray that is supposed to be on his chainsaw on yet. And two, I have not shaded him. And three, I have not finished his mouth. All of those are coming up shortly. I'm gonna put my base brush away for the current moment. And get my detail brush out, which is a layer brush. So I can add the rest of the handle on. And part of it got colored in yellow. I'm just going to paint the thing that's attached to his leg gray. Just to make it more emphasize that it's there. Just a little, hey, I'm here moment. Besides that, it really doesn't matter very much. And now I need to get his tusks and teeth, which are actually just yellow. So I'm actually going to get the yellow back out that I used for other things, like his glasses. And paint his tucks very lightly with yellow. And you know what? We'll get a little bit of red in there for his tongue. And then this is my base and layer painted Bebop. Now I just need to dry brush him and shade brush him. So some people should put shade on right after they put the base, but I don't. I wait till after layering so that I can fill all those details back in later. But I'm going to skip right to dry because I would like to emphasize details first. Like the saw. And apparently my brush is a little too wet. We're just going to drag it lightly. It's actually making it shine a bit more. It's all the gold, silver we need, because that's the only silvery thing on here. And I don't, whoops, guided by the saw, which isn't a great idea. I don't think he needs more emphasis on the red, but I think I'm going to get some dark gray. Or just some normal gray, apparently. And brush it lightly over his pants. Can I make his bands look a little bit silverier? That's really all I really want to emphasize on him. Because he doesn't actually have lots of things took onto like other figurines. Like, if I get around to painting Mousers, I probably put a little more silver on them to make them look more metallic. Now for the finishing touch of Bebop, I'm going to give him some shade. Question is which one? I'm probably going to go brown, considering his colors. I'd say Bebop came out a bit better than I was expecting him to. Now I just need to wait for his shade to dry. And I can get started on my next character. And since I already have my horrible white out still, this thing will still not mix. I need to get a new white. Okay, I think my chopstick's not dry enough that I need to get back in the white if need be. Well, it doesn't look so horrible out of the bottle right now. So I guess we'll just use what's out in the bottle right now for the current moment. And we'll get her mostly painted white. Because I should still be able to see some of the blue that's underneath her fur. So we're just going to water down the white just a little bit so that we can still see the blue underneath her skin. But we can tell that her fur is not just white. Wow, it's starting to look really pretty. Just gonna add a bit more white because she seems just a little bit too blue. Overall, I'd say she's looking pretty good. So as you can see, her hood is still blue. It is mainly because her hood is actually supposed to be black. So I will paint it black. So that's the reason why I'm not worrying so much about the chest piece or the arms, because most of her arms are also covered in black. So secondary base painting for Alopex with the blue tinge still there. Then we'll finish painting her because I have to let her dry first. And then we're going to go with Miyamoto Usagi. Sadly enough, is also painted white, for the most part actually. His outfit is blue, but his head and hands are white, along with the belt and the symbols on his outfit. So actually, we're going to skip with the white first. We're going to actually go to his blue first. Now, I'm very undecided about which blue I should use. I'm thinking the lighter one because his thing is actually very pale blue, but it's not. This might almost be too bright. Question is, which blue should I use? Now we're going to give him a nice bright one because you know what? He's a magical rabbit. He's a magically mutated rabbit. He can wear whatever color he chooses. And since I'm the one choosing, it's going to be the sickeningly bright blue. Which I think will look very good compared to the white and black that he wears with everything else. And the question is, which part is his shirt and which part isn't? Wow, it actually looks like he was doing chores. Because he's got those holders for his kimono sleeves with the straps that are along his back to hold up said kimono sleeves. So it almost looks like he was doing chores when this fighting started. Which I think just makes it all more entertaining. My bottle apparently does not want to stay open. Oops. Got a little bit of blue on his shirt, which I can actually patch up later. It's just easier if it's not there, so we're gonna wipe most of it off. So if I get a little bit of blue on his skin, it's probably fine because I can just wash most of it off in a bright white later. Like the stupid thing would stay open. And the handle of his swords are also a similar blue to his outfit, so we're just gonna give them a slight blue as well. I'm kind of regretting giving him this color of blue, actually. Because it looks so strange right now. That's because he's wearing, like, none of the other correct colors at all. Kind of wish I'd gone for the darker one. Well, apparently I've broken my lid somehow, and I'm not sure. Well, that worked. Now my fingernails are only stained blue. Considering I still have paint on me from the last time I streamed, I don't know how much I want my thumbnails to be stained entirely blue. Get off, you stupid paint. Come on. Don't like my nails being stained blue, especially since I'm the one that cooks in the house. Okay, that's mostly better. I think this napkin is probably done, so we're going to grab the other one. Apparently I made a mess on the bottle too, so we're going to clean that up real quick too. Because I'd rather than getting so stuck to something that I can't take it off later. Okay, that's better. Well, Usagi Yojimbo's outfit's actually dried fairly quickly. So we're going to get the white back out. After I put a few paints away, because holy cow, my area is now cram-packed with colors. And I don't need that. See, the yellow goes there. I don't need a red currently. Neither do I need a gray. I don't need metallic colors right now. Actually, I will need that soon. For a sword. Now we're going to get prepared to paint him white. Since he's a white rabbit. Wow, this actually looks not so bad with the ugly blue that I chose. Still regretting the blue, but it's kind of like I'm not repainting him, so I'm just going to get over it. Though it will make him easier to see on the board. It will make him much, much easier to see on the board. But he's also probably like the only white character you ever see on the board, because yeah, not many characters have lots of white on them. Surprisingly enough, and his giant, like, leaf ears are bright white. So is his head and his arms, so... Whoa, that's a little too much white. And then I need to paint his little feet white so that I can repaint the sandals gray later. No, his pants aren't supposed to be white. No, no. His pants shall not be white. I will not allow it. It is his feet. His feet shall be white. And so will most of him. Because he's a very nice wabbit. Very white wabbit. Very white wabbit indeed. I'm gonna have to clean my brush just a little bit because I got paint all the way up it. I don't need that. So, based on this outfit, I'm gonna say that 1, the belt he wears is white, so we need to paint that white. Bow and all. Wow, that is actually really difficult to do. It's such a tiny bow. Which is a part of belt that he wears. That bit of white. And I do believe that the straps on his back should probably also be white. Considering, I think they just would be white. I don't imagine them being any other color but white, so. Considering they're normally some type of similar color to whatever the character normally wears, so. But that is the main colors of Usagi Yojimbo, or Miyamoto Usagi, because I'm gonna keep calling him the wrong name. Because all I ever hear is Usagi Yojimbo, but it's Miyamoto Usagi, which I still don't know who either one are, but I'm painting them. So this is actually, like, the base color of Usagi? Because there actually isn't much to him. He's got black pants. Here is a detail I missed though. The side of his pants should have a bit of fabric that is darker, that is a blue tone on the side of the pants. You actually see it a bunch when you watch it, like Usagi, if you watch Inuyasha. He has those type of things where you see the white of the fabric below on the sides of his pants. I've really liked it if I used this blue when I was originally painting Usagi, except I think the reason why that is because this paint had been mixed properly and it's overly watery. Yep, it was just overly watery because it hadn't been mixed properly. But now I can see the slits in the sides of his pants. Now he's mostly done, but I need to get just a little bit of black for the tip of his nose, right for his eyes, and I'm probably going to draw a little mini frown on him because I can. If I don't drop him first. Well, it's pretty bad, but I drew a slight face on him. That's because this picture is like so cartoony, I can't do it correctly. Just sad. And I do actually need the red from earlier. Oh, it's nice red eyes. So I need to finally tip my brush, since I put way too much paint on it, and give them a little tiny red eyes. which look a little strange since they don't have the proper black that should be above them. So I'm going to get a little bit of black paint, because he just looks a little bit strange if I don't do this. I need to give him the slightest, and I do mean the slightest bit of defining black paint above his eye. Well, he doesn't look as strange, but he still looks pretty strange. Now we need a silver to finish up his sword. Well, just the blade. I have to get some gold to finish the rest of his sword. And we're going to have to update the silver on said sword because it isn't as bright a color as I thought it would be. Something a lot brighter than that to make it pop. And I need a bright gold, not... I do need a much brighter gold than I would do because it's a cartoon character. All the colors are supposed to be bright. So we're going to get the brightest gold I own. The only problem with all the metallic colors is they're kind of watery. Just getting the hilt and the tips of both the sheath and the sword handle, which should both be gold in color. And then along with that, I need a light tan color for the piece that ties his ears together. No clue what this piece is, but it's certainly not white. Since I really, really hate the color I gave on the sword, pat, remove most of it. Actually, kind of makes it look older now, since I removed that layer of crap. But with old katanas, the front side of the blade should be much brighter than the back, because the forward part of the blade is the part of the actual blade. The back isn't as much. But since I'm not gonna bother with front and back, because that would annoy the heck out of me, we're just making the sword altogether brighter. And that should do it. So I do believe Usagi Yojimbo is done. Oh wait, no he isn't. I lied. I didn't do his sandals. His brown sandals. And the silver can be closed now. Very fine detail on these sandals. Just need a little dab of paint. I'm almost done with the tiny little sandals. Ding, done. Then I grabbed it by the sword, which is still wet. We're gonna do all their bases later because I'm not messing with it right now. Not gonna. Now we're gonna go back to Alopex. I think she needs a bit more white on her tail because it's a little bit too blue. And truthfully, if I put some shading on her, it would probably be blue shading, so I think it'll be fine if I paint the tail just a bit more blue. I mean, a bit more white. Okay. Now that's all done. I don't think I'm gonna need much more white on her. I'm gonna get my black out so that I can paint her cape. Yeah, I'm gonna paint the cape, her arm pieces, hood, and get part of the wooding done on the weapons. I think my layer brush is officially being beaten to death right now. I can almost hear it crying out in pain. Sorry, brush. But I have a lot of detail to do today. While I paint the hoods of people. Wow. It's actually looking fairly decent. It's actually looking pretty nice. There's the very tips. Very tips of her hands should be white. The rest of it should be black with bands. Oh. That was bad of me to drop you. Besides that, you're pretty much white. Now, I've got a brown that I have got a brown here, but it's not the one I want, so I'm gonna do a different one. So I can paint the handle of your weapons. There we go. That looks better. That looks good for the handle. Now for the blade. This blade is small. I think it's okay if I just use the darker metallic, and then I can dry brush and lay it a bit more fun stuff onto you later. Considering the base on this is blue, I think you need the darker base anyways to cover the blade. Now, there's not really much I can do about Alapex's face, because literally it's just her eyes are white with a very, very pale white mask. Bluish white mask. So we're probably just going to keep her face exactly the way it is, and overall, that's probably how Alapex is going to end right there. So I am going to shade her blue. I guess that's what her highlight is. Though I already did kind of ruin her with the blue thing I did earlier, I don't care. It's mainly just your tail that needs it. Probably should just painted you white and shaded you blue. That would have made much more sense overall. Considering you're actually starting to look bluer than you were. Yep, I should have just painted you white and shaded you blue. It'd make my life a whole lot easier. So that is 3 characters almost done. I'm going to say almost because I'm not going to paint their faces right now. I'm going to put some colors away because my palette up here is getting covered in colors. Okay. And the only 2 characters I haven't done yet are Karai and Angel Bridge. Both of which aren't superly overly complicated. So I'm going to start with Angel Bridge first, mainly because her outfit is already mostly black. So if I prime her black, I won't have to paint as much after the fact. Because her hair is black with purple highlights. Her gloves are black, her top is black, and her belt is black. So I'm going to assume her shoes are probably either black or purple, so I'm just going to leave them black. Then I just have to give her skin tone, highlight in her hair, and do her weapons. Because they're not overly complicated. Which is nice, considering the only other female character I've painted so far is April, and she just ticked me off a little bit. Though both of you have really simple ways of standing. Like, unlike the guys who have these really complicated ways to stand, both the girls are just like, I'm going to stand with my legs slightly forward, with my legs far apart, but not too far apart. But have one arm away, have both arms away from my body. April had a gauntlet close to her body, but not overly close, and her other arm was up with a gun. It wasn't hard to paint either. It was just the colors that annoyed me. Angel Bridge, on the other hand, has her legs slightly far apart. Has her legs in a good standing position, actually, I should say. With both her arms outward like this, well, more like this, holding her 2 weapons, which makes it so much easier to paint her. She doesn't have any complicated way of standing. Like some characters I know, like Michelangelo, who's halfway in the air on his Changes Constant character version, and he's sitting on a bike. Actually, his legs are on a motorcycle, on a skateboard that's partly in the air. So his skateboard's the only part that's actually sticking to the base, and the rest of it's just high off the ground. But Angel Bridge is looking very nice. Though I think the only part that I don't like about her is her wavy hair. It is all over the place. Well, that's her base painting. While she dries, I think I'm going to base paint Karai. Karai is also looks to be another easy female character to do. Besides the fact that she's got a bow and arrow. Well, actually, she's just got a bow. Her outfit and stance is pretty wide open. Except where the bow is nearly to her leg. But considering the bow is silver and the pants are black, I don't see that being much of a problem. And her hair is short, so it doesn't have any problems like Angel's does. The only weird thing is her cape, which her cape is actually an easy fix overall. So I realized this entire time I was painting with a layer brush, which makes it harder to base paint, so we're going to get the base paint brush out. So I can put more paint on that. And it goes a little bit quicker. Yes, base paint you all black. Because it is so easy to do that. Oh, look so pretty, don't you? So sad for you, Karai. You will only know the Shredder as your father. Or, that might not even be true. It could be one of those series that doesn't have Shredder as the father, but she's just like a person with a foot. But I prefer the one where Karai is actually Splinter's daughter. Those are normally entertaining in some form or fashion. Very nice. I just need to get her arrows to be painted black. And her arm, which is left, and part of her back. There we go, almost done. Just need to get this awkward spot in the cape. And get part of the quiver and the elbow finished. Apparently missed part of the bow too. And Karai is all painted black. Wait, no she isn't. It's part of the cape. Right edge of the cape I missed apparently. A bit too much paint in a few spaces. So I'm just gonna brush some of that away. Okay. Now you're done getting base paint. Base paint, yeah. Ow. That hurt. How you could hear that too. Ow. Okay, so let's see. Angel Bridge has kind of bluish gray pants. But this I don't own anything like that. I am probably just going to make her pants. I'm thinking blue. Considering it kind of looks like she's wearing jeans of some sort. So we're gonna make her wear blue jeans. And like I said, her shoes are probably black. So I think all I really need to do is get some purple for her highlight. Though it's more on the pink side. It's kind of exactly like crap, what was his name? Bebop's hair. That same pinkish purple that I don't own. And I kind of don't want to try to make that color again, so she's just getting light purple hair. Considering light purple is going to be her base of her character, she's just not... I'm not going to bother with you. That's what I'm trying to say. And I do realize something. I never shaded Usagi, so we're going to shade him real quick while they're drying, because they're not dry yet, and I can't do anything with not dry characters right now. So we're going to shade you black, considering you're supposed to be a comic book character, and you have no black highlights, do you? Well, you have no black highlights to the parts that should probably have some highlights, so... we're going to make you look a little bit different. So far, I think that looks pretty good. And rinse out my brush. And let's see how my characters are drying. Well, we're definitely not dry yet. Set you back down. And now I've got more paint on my fingers. Well, let's see how long it takes for you to dry. Why are girls so much easier to base paint? Seriously. It took me forever with you. Because you had a chainsaw and I had to get in between the chainsaw and you. Same problem with Rocksteady and Slash. Because they got really complicated poses. We got like Slash going. You got Rocksteady running with an axe behind him on one leg. Old Hob was pretty simple considering all he's holding is a gun. Only problem is getting in between the gun and his chest. Besides that, it was pretty easy. Then you got Splinter who's like, and with his tail coiled up behind him. Couldn't even get the bottom of him because the brush won't fit down there. But we have the girls who are just standing like, we've got April. And then we've got Karai, which her elbow's like pretty up to the point where it's not blocking anything. And then you got Angel, which is like, what? Why do the girls have like simple stances, and then the guys have all these really complicated things? Even Alopex. The only problem with Alopex is that she's got a tail, but she's just like one thing up, one thing towards her body. Her arms are a little bit closer to her body, but they're not hard to get around because near her sides where her arms connect are just all black, so it's not very easily seen. You can get everything pretty easily. Only problem with her was I had to base paint her blue. Are either one of my girls dry yet? No. No, because the part where your hair is doesn't want to dry. I don't have any other characters prepared right now. Well, Angel's almost dry. And so is Cry, actually. I think I'll start painting Karai because she's mostly dry now. So the main thing about Karai is that she's got skin. So does Angel, for that matter. And since I'm probably going to make them the same pale color, considering both of them are really pale, we're going to get the flesh tone out. Well, that brush is stained black right now, apparently. Get rid of you, thy black. There we go. And let's get her painted. Starting with her face. Apparently she has a bit more armor than she does in her picture, so... But she doesn't have anything covering her hands, so we have to paint that. Considering her hands are, technically in black gloves. I didn't see that. Well, we'll paint the hands entirely first, and then we'll go over later to add the black end, because it's a lot easier than trying to get around the tiny bit of black that are on her hands normally. Let's get your armpit. Because you wear those things with no sleeves but have body armor. And that is literally all the skin she shows, is her wrists, her arms. And apparently neither one of her arms actually got dark enough, so they don't exactly look like flesh. So we're just gonna add a couple more layers of skin, because I don't exactly want to look her. I'm fine when the black shows through in like other characters, because, well, most of the other characters are animals, and I wouldn't expect them to be overly clean, considering the fact that they don't live in the cleanest of environments. Seriously, Splinter's in the sewers. I don't know where Old Hob lives. Probably not in anywhere that isn't a warehouse or the sewers. Rocksteady and Bebop both are either in warehouses or in the Foot HQ, and Slash is all over the place. So I wouldn't expect any of them to be in cleanly situations. So we're not going to make them overly cleanly. Because I don't think they ever would be. I think Karai would probably just stay clean for the fact that her father might want to marry her off at any point. She needs to look nice and pretty. Okay, I think that's good for skin tone on her. What's with both these girls and not showing any skin besides part of their arms and their face? Well, I guess in Angel's case, she's also got her neck, but she doesn't show her hands, because they're in gloves. Very, very detailed. Wow, that's literally all of her arms that she shows. Well, one arm looks pretty much like skin, and the other arm's kind of iffy. There we go. And her neck and face. We're so gonna fix their hair. I'm gonna still have to fix her hair with some black, but I think I have to do the same with her outfit, so it's fine. Well, she looks much more human-like than Karai does currently. Here's why Karai is getting another tone of flesh color. Because you don't look human enough. Just sad. So I'm going to make you look more human one way or the other. Maybe your face is too blah. Much better. Flesh tone, I think, is pretty much done on both of you. Except I need to get some black real quick before I go much further in Angel. Well, actually, no, I'll get her pants done first, because then I might need to put more black on her. Considering she's supposed to be wearing some greenish blue color, I'm just going to give her blue jeans, because that's what they look like. And I don't want to overly complicate things. Looks much prettier now. Though, in general, I don't think Angel has much color on her altogether. Get a nice bright silver for her batons. I want to give her something that pops a little bit more color. Also, I do need just a dab silver for her belt. Just a dab, it wasn't much at all. Now we need to cover her batons in silver. Maybe a bit too much silver, but I don't care. Considering it looks so pretty. As long as I don't get her hands covered in silver. It's the only thing I don't want because she's got black gloves on. The silver should not be running off. Put batons onto her hands. That's how you know it's very cheap batons. Well, there goes Angel. Now I just need to fix the black in her hair. Where the skin tone hit it and messed it up. Apparently not all the flesh tone is dried either. I think my brush is actually wet. I can't tell. She's coming out the way I would like her to. There we go, much better. Her eyes are actually black in this picture, so I'm actually going to give her a tiny bit of black eyes. They're all wonky and I really hate it. But the only way to fix it is to cover it up with more flesh. There's only one eye that's really bad. Then I'm gonna give her a bit of red lipstick because I can. We'll fix her horrible black eyes later. Actually, I probably should do lipstick later, mainly because it's probably gonna get overshadowed by flesh tone that I put on it later. Though I do need this purple now. To do the streak in her hair. Now, it's supposed to be on both sides of her hair, so it's just bigger on one side compared to the other. There we go. Just a tad bit of color, but not too much. I think your eyes are dry now, so we're gonna fix that one eyeball. While that eye dries, I'm gonna get rid of red paint to do just a tad bit of lipstick. Because you want this character to look at least somewhat feminine. I put way too much on. I'm gonna mold this to really, really fine tip as I can. And get just the lightest bit that I can on the brush. And try the lips again. I got it the second time. And because I kind of just want to get her over with, I'm going to get the black back out. Try to fix her eyeball. Only a tiny bit of my brush though. Not a whole lot. Well, it's still off, but it's better and I'm not redoing it. Angel Bridge is now done. With the silver batons, blue jeans, and black pretty much everything else. And I'm about to hit the 2-hour mark, so I might get Cry done before 3 hours hits. Or 2.5 maybe. I might get it before 2.5 hours. I will be overly happy if I can do that. So Cry's outfit is actually mainly 2 different types of gray. Well, normal color gray, and then we have some metallic. Very light metallic on her outfit. And red. There is a red scarf and a red sash. But her pants are black too. So I don't have to worry so much about that. So the main part of her outfit is dark gray with edges of light gray. So I'm mainly just going to color the outfit dark gray first, then go back through it later with lighter gray, except my brush is way too wet and is making everything a watery mess right now. Get the puppet out of the way. Because I don't need my paint to be a watery mess. The shoulder pads are probably silver considering it's a type of armor. Since I don't know, since the shoulder pads are not actually part of the main outfit, I'm not fully sure, but we're just going to make them silver. Or maybe I'll make them dark gray. Well, maybe I think I'm going to make them dark gray for now, because a bunch of skin tone got on them so that when I put the silver on later, it doesn't look as bad. But yeah. Just need to get this shoulder pad, which really... Well, this one had other problems, such as the shoulder pad got turned tan, but also the armband got turned tan. So I'm going to fix that while I'm at it too. Because the whole back of it got turned into just another part of the arm when it really isn't. So we're going to turn it to a gray color so that I can get turned silver. I'm going to do the same thing to the bow, considering it's also going to turn silver and it had way too much flesh to put on it. That's probably a good amount for the dark gray. Most of the trimming is a lighter gray. Then we'll get the red sash and red scarf later. Just need to make sure my brush is dry enough. But apparently my paper towels are all wet. So my brushes don't want to stay dry. Thank you, Daddy.
Welcome.
He just gave me more paper towels. Let's see. Good night. Now I just need to finish getting the trimming done on Karai. Shouldn't take super long. Considering there should be a sash across her chest and around both armholes. The main part of our outfit to make that part highlighted a bit more. Since he brought me paper towels, I'm going to use them. It's brought me a little, maybe one too many, but that's fine. Considering they get wet pretty quickly, actually. And I might need them to clean my hands off some more. Now we're going to get the red scarf done. After I close the gray. So the sash around her waist is red. And my brush is wet. The sash around her waist is red. And so is the scarf. Kind of looks like a cape that's flowing, but it's actually just her scarf that's flowing in the background that is connected around her neck. Just need to get all red real quick. Get it slightly connected to the one that's around her neck. is what I'm now painting. And now we're going to get her silver armbands done. Since it's very light silver, we're going to use our light color. Let's see, is she wearing anything else that's silver besides that? I think part of the arrows are probably silver, because... No, because that's the wrong tip. We're just going to emphasize bows and swords down real quick. Then I need to get just a tad bit of black. So the black I'm going to use in a second, because I didn't realize it when looking at the picture, because it doesn't easily show up in the figure, is that she's actually wearing gloves. And since it's a lot easier to paint gloves on after you've made the hand, I thought it'd be better to paint the gloves on after the fact as well. And I'm just going to avoid the shade for tonight because it is getting a little bit late. Just clean off my brushes real quick before I show you Karai, who is now drying. Here is our dried version of Karai. Silver bows, silver armlets, with a red sash and a red scarf, with her weapon for her battle-ready kimono. A quiver of arrows on her back. So, I think that is all for my stream tonight. I hope everybody had fun for my 2-hour-long painting stream, finishing off Bebop, and starting and finishing non-villain Alopex. I think it's... Crap, what is his name? Miyamoto Usagi, or Usagi Yojimbo, if you know him that way. I also painted him, Karai, and Angel Bridge. And Angel Bridge, Bebop, and Karai are all from the City Fall game, while Usagi Yojimbo is from a special cartoony Turtles pack, and Rescue Alopex is from the Stretch Goals box. So I hope everybody had a good time. I certainly need to go to bed at some point. So I hope everybody had a bunch of fun. I hope everybody has a good rest of their night. And this was Day After Day Gaming. I'm Kat, and keep on gaming day after day, or in my case, having fun painting while you're stuck at home. Have a good night, everyone.